B2B Cambodia, the portal for business use in Cambodia. B2B Cambodia interviewed Mr. Arnaud Darc, the President of Cambodian Restaurant Association, which launched their first edition of Regulatory Compliance Guidebook.
Can you tell me what pushed the organization and association to actually produce this kind of book?
When I became president of the Cambodia Restaurant Association, the first thing I noticed is the number of questions related to law and regulation from our members, and the lack of a single place where they could find answers to their very simple questions. You know, how to register, where should I go, what should I use, what are the requirements. So this is when the idea starts to become a project. Then, of course, during the pandemic, we realized that a lot of people who lost their business now lost them because they could not receive the support the government was offering, because they were not registered or they were registered partially. So it became, I think, now a priority together with the Royal Government of Cambodia to try to formalize as much as possible our industry. We decided, first of all, to touch base, look at the current laws and regulation, put them together in this book. And while doing so, also realizing that it was at a level, I think, of complexity for simple entrepreneur or even business owner today that don't have an army of administration staff or legal advisor, or don't have the means and the resource to pay those services. That's now we will use this book to engage into a new dialogue with the government to try to simplify or maybe try to create new level starting point for those owners or entrepreneurs when they want to start, at least to formalize themselves at a very simple entry point. So we will start that now.
That's great. I know, I believe online platform has really sped up the process of registration, but is it really possible to register within just 8 days?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible to register, at least to be legal, but there are still a number of steps that you need to do, where you need to go and visit the ministries, and you have some obligation to make that are well explained in the book, but the online registration is there. The government is working very hard to improve it, and I think we will help them also to disseminate the information and the process of how people can register.
As a member of Cambodia Restaurant Association, I think you guys do a lot of work, a lot of conversation, and today we saw so many government officials who came to join and share the views and support the first edition of the book. And I know there's a lot of conversation going, but could you share maybe a bit what exactly the association does and what benefits it gives to our members?
First, we really want to create a relationship within all the stakeholders of the industry. We cannot have an industry if every part is not communicating with each other. So the association is really helping to put in a room everyone who has interest in the food and beverage service. So that's one thing that we are doing. Second is we, as we did today, we unify under one voice to dialogue with the regulator. And as I was telling you earlier, we will use that voice to try to simplify the regulations for people to come into the formal economy. So that's advocacy. Thirdly, we have a duty, I think, to elevate the food and beverage service standards, and through training, building up skills, we are aiming to do just that. The Cambodia Restaurant Association, with the Cambodia Hotel Association and the Cambodia Tourism Federation, own a cooking school, ACAC, and we are training a high-level chef in that school, and we will try to expand the skill of the school to other departments in our food and beverage industry, to services, management of a food production unit, etc. So training is also one of our goals. And disseminate information to our members, keep them updated on new laws and regulation, make sure that they are aware of what's happening, what's new, what they have to comply to. That's something we are doing. So through newsletters, through meeting to inform them. And lastly, we try to work together to help them to grow their business by giving them interesting workshop on marketing, digital communication, food hygiene, food production, what's trending now in the world, how can they modernize their processes and so on. So that's really what it's all about.
Who do you consider as your future or current members? Is it just registered restaurants, or is it someone who is inspired and wants to open a restaurant?
Well, most of our members are fully registered members now. Mm-hmm. We want to offer a service for people who are maybe thinking of registering but don't know how to. So we have a couple of members now that are coming in and would like to become a member because they want to enter the formal economy. We have only two of those members, when we know out there is much more. So we listen to them very much, because I think their challenges is the challenges that face most of that community of entrepreneurs who are not yet in a formal economy. So we listen to them very carefully, and we will use the gap we see in what they do, what they are now, and what they should be doing. And we try to look at that gap and see if there is a step they can take, and use this path to discuss with the government to simplify, that huge step they have to take to formalize their business.
What opportunities do you say there are in this industry, and what are the biggest challenges you face?
As the world evolves, as Cambodia evolves, I think people are more health conscious. They're looking more at having quality food more than quantity. So I think opportunity is there when habit of consumption changes. There is also great opportunities with the way people consume now. They consume online, and that gives an opportunity to almost anyone to become a wholesaler, because that phone that we carry every day is really a way where everyone can go global. So that's also an opportunity. And the challenges that we are facing are I think there are many. If we look more locally on the national level, the challenges is really, as I was saying earlier, is to formalize as much as possible the economy, attract more entrepreneur and micro enterprise, and show them that's the path for self-development is also by coming in and try to follow certain legal process, so they can develop their company, they can have security and develop their business in a very secure manner. So that's one challenge, and we take on that challenge today with the publication of our book. Second challenge is to attract talent in the industry. I think that's a challenge that's not proper just to Cambodia, but we see it across the globe. The talents now are looking at other sector or other type of activity. We lost a lot of people during COVID-19. They change the jump sector. They work in banks now, in other industry, and really to retrain and to attract people with talent, because we need that. Food and beverage is all about people skill, and that's a second challenge that I see. Third is really to I think have a legislation that will protect us better if in the future another tragedy or another pandemic arrive. We face so many difficulties in 2020, 2021, even in 2022 after the pandemic subside. So to have the basic law that protects investment, because most of the restaurant owner leased property during the pandemic, they were not protected. So some lost their businesses because they didn't pay their rent, and they could not because they were forbidden to open. So there was I think, a lack in legislation, and they were not protected. So we'll have to address that challenge also in the future.
I see. Well, I think CRA is doing a great job in all the information, and this guidebook will definitely support and help a lot of entrepreneurs and even business owners that are always confused with how these regulations work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.